Hello everyone and welcome to another replay analysis video. I'm AndyDavo and today we're going to look at a game that I played very early on in the Chaos Dwarf run, and this is a Chaos Dwarf mirror. I think the focus of today's video is going to be looking at how do you play against a team that is exactly the same composition as yourself. How do you find that edge? And once you've found that edge, how can you make sure that you can put the game away? So in this game I've got a 3 reroll build, which is 2 rerolls plus leader, and my opponent's only got the 2 rerolls. However, they do have a strength 4 sure hands bull centaur. Everything else is actually exactly the same. So we've got 1 skill each, 1 leader for 1 sure hands. I think it changes the dynamic slightly because we can clearly see who's going to be carrying the ball on his team, and of course if he does manage to pick the damn thing up, bringing it back down again is going to be really difficult. Whereas for him, knocking over one of my players, it's going to be really easy. A ball carrier is going to be really easy because he's got 2 strength 4 players. So we both got strengths and weaknesses slightly differently. So we start off with a perfect defense, which is a little bit of a shame because what that means is he's able to try and slow down and dictate the tempo of the game. Now, I'm just going to put earned skills on for a second just to try and remove the mess in the middle, and you'll notice of course everything then disappears. When he's finished, we'll have a quick look at this because I think he's done a really good job of this, and I think it's worth just looking at and seeing why. So what we've got here is something that players completely underestimate, which is this area here, which is the triple wall after the cutoff, which is there. And what I'm talking about here is if you want to try and create a 2 dice block going that way, typically you would look to try and move that guy out of the way, so that's your blitz target for the turn, and then you'd stick an assist in that square there, right? That makes a lot of sense. That now gives you the 2 dice block. Once you've then thrown the first block, then your second block here can then be 2 dice if you stick a player there. And at that point, you've then got your third block, which is going to be this one here, because you've lifted out the other 2. So the key player in all of this, and I'm running out of colours to pick from, so we're going to go back to blue. The key player to pick off is this guy here. Now, there's no point me picking this guy off because of this. So something we can take straight away from my opponent, and I thought, oh, we're playing someone who's very competent, is that you double stack past the edge of the wall that you might need. So this double stacking here is a big problem. And that meant that I had to completely redesign my entire turn based on what he'd done. And then he had done the same thing on this side. So we can't pivot round the bull centaur either over the top because of the triple stack here. So I looked for solutions. I can't remember the game entirely, but looking at this now, yeah, at the moment we've got a 1D block with block. Okay, fine. And we've got a 1D with block. Okay, great. Yeah, these are great options, aren't they? Looking at this now, I think I'm probably going for this guy because we can probably get to hit him into here. And if we follow up, we can then create a T-shape here. And we might be able to then lift that chorf out of the way. It doesn't really add a lot of value because the goblin. Or the other option here is if I just take this off, is to look at creating a box in this area here, blitzing in from that corner, and then by pushing sideways you can push the goblin into contact and get to an additional 2 dice block, and critically it's on an armor 7 player, which is probably where I will probably go, thinking about how greedy I am. But let's see. I played this game several weeks ago, and I'm not sure what I did. First thing we want to try and do is cover the fail state a little bit. It looks very much like I'm taking the 1D and then taking the 2D here, and then offering him effectively the same trade, right? You can take a 1D. Oh well. Yeah, we're absolutely setting up the T-shape. The problem I'm going to have is that square there is the one that's going to be needed to provide the assist, even if this is a PAL. Yep. So that pulls that away from the ball rather than towards it. But we do get an armor 7 hit. So we've made the... I feel like I've probably made the best of a bad job there. Would have been... That'd have killed anything. 10-10. 10-10-6. And we got the ball. And then we just have to be mindful where the ball centre is. So we've actually now got a player advantage. A one-player advantage in a mirror. And we've got a guaranteed player advantage for the entire game. We are rolling an apothecary. Our opponent is also rolling one. But they don't want to save players. So he's trying to do the same thing using a T-shape. Makes a lot of sense. And then he's just jamming things in. One reroll burn there. You probably do, because you've got a lot left in the turn to do. You've got a 2 dice block here. And you should be able to set up a 1D here. Which is fine. That stun's painful because we're not going to be able to unlock this. And it means that this is threatening my ball. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need to get... the distance between here and here is 7 squares, sorry. So if we're stood there and he stood there, he can cover 6 squares. So we need to be the other side of the tram line. So he's found 2 1-dice blocks. Both powers. Puts us in a bit of a tricky situation. So, first things first, from an ordering perspective, you can stand the ball center up unless you're blitzing with it, but this ball carrier needs to be stood somewhere on that rank there, so that this marauding chorf can't make me have to dodge or make me have to do unpleasant things. It would be nice to blitz this and then get a player into here for throwing the 2 dice on this corner here, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the focus of the turn. What have we got? Well, we've got 2 dice there, if we can just provide an assist in here. And I think, looking at that right now, that's probably where I want to go. The problem with this turn, the big problem is, we've just seen how Armour 7 got wrecked. So, what is really simple, which is just to ram a goblin in there, is a really bad idea, because it'll just get smashed. So I don't think I want to put a goblin in there looking at this, which actually means this goblin needs to come out of the way, so that this chorf can go in the way there. And if you get the 2 dice, you can then set up the chain block. At that point, that tells me that the block of the blitz is just slightly off screen, which I need to readjust. And it is that guy, the marauding chorf, I think. We might probably blitz it without block, but I think that's the play here, because that keeps the goblins a bit more safe. So let's see. I think the correct play is blitz that. Haha, you bad player. Oh dear. I'm now obliged to follow. Oh dear, oh dear. 2 poor plays in a row. Oh, I love commentating here and stuff. Which actually brings me a nicely segue onto... so if you want to see your own games on this and me to do a replay analysis of something of yours, then just send me a message on Discord. We can talk about that and see if we can get you a replay analysis. Jesus, that's some terrible play. So now we're into the wonderful world of 1Ds. We do find a power on one of them. Yeah, it's pretty obvious here who he should be blitzing. It's absolutely that dude there. And we're still struggling after the perfect defense to try and get the momentum back. At least we now get 2 dice here. Unless, of course, he swings some more players around. What I think he should also be thinking about now is that in these sort of low TV mirrors, you should be trying to make sure that you are just defending it a 0-0. You're not thinking about taking the ball off someone unless you get a massive advantage. So, yeah, you just need to defend it. Oh, wow. Now, notice the greed reroll in turn 1-ish, greedy-ish reroll, and he's now blocked and had to double skulls. I think we need to just have a quick look at this. So we're now 3 rerolls ahead, and we've got a really good pitch position, actually, which is it's turn 3. We're only trying to score on turn 8. That's our objective for the half. And we're a player ahead, and we can actually stabilise and fix this. There are 2 different ways of trying to fix this, but we've got... I think this guy was stood up. Let's have a look. Did he stand up? Let's just see that last move. Yeah. Right, so we've got that guy stood up. If we can blitz this guy out of the way, then we can get 2 dice here. But I don't think there is an easy 2 dice block. So I think we've probably got one of 2 choices. We can 1 dice the goblin, which gives me the 2 dice. Okay. Or we can blitz here. And that gives me 2 dice here. And then we just have to possibly suck that up. The problem is, by sucking that up, is that defending here afterwards, because he's going to want to counterplay by stepping into that square there, that means this guy's going to get blitzed. So these guys have to stay put, which means we can't follow those blocks up. There's so many like intricacies that you have to work through in terms of where you're deciding where your blitz is. And of course there is the really obvious and easy blitz, which is, well, just go and hit the Armor 7 thing, Davo. It's nice and open and available, and it's might give you a second player advantage. So I think there were 3 different lines of play there, and in 2 minutes, how do you decide what the right one is? Well, I think the way you decide how, or the way I'm going to look at this now and say, how do you decide what the right one is based on the pitch position and turn timer. If you have got good pitch position and you have got no pressure on the turn timer, then you can take the greedy line of play. If you are in bad position, then you should fix your position. And if you're up against the turn timer, then you need to take the best positional play on the board. So looking at this, I would say now, having run through all those options, the correct blitz is the goblin because it's easiest to kill. 1, 2, 3. We want to hit it there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this guy's doing the blitz. This guy is going to be providing the assist. Smash the goblin in the face. We'll have to sacrifice this, so we're going to need to bring another chorf in here. You can stand up, and we'll take the 1D. You're going to take the 2D there. Done. Oh, and then I'll bring some people over here. The ball probably wants to trundle kind of like to about there. It doesn't need to come forward yet. We're on turn 3. I think I'd probably bring it forward on turn 4. And that's my play here. It looks like I'm completely not doing that in this instance. In fact, it looks like I'm going to do none of these things in this instance. I am actually just going to take the boring play, which is taking on and trying to hit 2 chorfs. Okay. Push, 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 push. Now that block there is slightly dangerous because if that isn't a POW, you're obliged to follow up anyway, and you're in trouble. I don't like that. I think that turn could have been played out a lot better. Now, if you're him, again, I wouldn't overextend here. You're playing chorfs, you're playing a man down. Do not overextend. This chorf blocker's right in the wrong place. You want to be coming back into the middle, and you want to be just saying, well, how are you going to solve this? Instead, it looks like we're going for Value Town on the Bull Centaur. And as I said, yeah, just covered. Don't think the pitch position allows you to do this. He needs to stop me providing an assist here and blocking. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He also then needs to protect this guy. So, I think the other Bull Centaur should have gone there. And I think what he's done here is he's tried to consider how I might suddenly barge forward with my team. Not understanding the matchup. Two dice. 2 dice. Oh, that's a terrible block. That was 2 dice. The game only just showed one of them. So we'll take the 2 dice that way. The problem with the 2 dice that way, which I've clocked now, and I think I remember from earlier in the time, is look what's about to happen. He's about to block there. If he rolls a POW, this Bull Centaur is going to roll through here, and this guy's going to be under incredible pressure. So that obliges me to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's not good. And if he goes there, then there's a gap here, which only this guy can close. So we've got problems. I've actually gone. The misplay from last turn is now costing me positional play here, and it is making things really awkward. To the point where I think the only solution solved now is he has to step in. Oh, bloody hell. Right, you throw the 2 dice block there because you need to. You want to step in there but that gives you 2 dice on the Chorf, which is probably okay, because if you knock over a Chorf, we know we're both... I know we're going to the top left. That's where we're scoring at this point. So steps in there, blocks there, blocks there. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go fix that. The problem is you're giving away a hit. It's a shame, but there's not much you can do about it. Knockdowns here would have been spectacular. AndyDavo strikes again. We're probably hitting the dirty player. Yep. Bad Davo. I mean, I am getting to like pause this and think about this and stuff. Which in a 2-minute environment, maybe not so much. And there is an element of just trying to see other lines of play here. Finds the POW, and because he gets the POW, he can follow up. Which I think he should have done there, right? She's going to have to 2 dice there as well. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Made some mistakes. See, I made some mistakes here. Mistakes have been made. I have a feeling he does something unwise. Yes. And it wasn't even that move. It was the move before. Let me just unpause this. So now we're into the important bit of the game. That block there, that 1 dice, freeing up my Chaos Dwarf blocker, has given me a free player because I'm a player ahead. Those 3 are taken out by those 2, so I'm now 2 players ahead. That trades out, that's fine, still +2. I'm -1 because of a stun. Okay, so we are just +1. And the +1 is here, or holding the ball. So actually, you could say if I'm holding the ball, I'm now net negative across the pitch. So that just needs to stand up. And then we can do other stuff, like I could blitz here, and then step in there, maybe. That gives me this guy, which gives me 2 dice here. And you should be able to set up a domino of hits. So I think, looking at this, right, that is not a terrible blitz. It's straight out the gate. I'm not sure whether I would play this line, but it's really not a terrible blitz. Because if you get a push, it goes there, and you follow up, and you leave it pinned. That's pinned out. All of this is pinned. It's fine. And, actually, you're going to get to throw that hit later in the turn. And you might, if you get a stun, have a bull centaur to run away with. I could also blitz here and then run away, because we know that the game is going to be going on, broadly it's going to be going on in this sort of game space over the next couple of turns. So having my bull centaur in that area is not a bad idea. I think that 1 block there, where you just give someone a player that you shouldn't have given them, it's really bad. It's really bad. Let's see what I can do with it. The bull courier comes in. We've now got 2 dice on the bull centaur. I don't use the blitz there, so in that case that's suggestive that the blitz is here. It could be on the goblin. That's fine, you don't follow up. Why am I doing these videos? Yeah, okay, so I'm blitzing here. And what the idea is to get this bull centaur just somewhere over here, because it's something that then he has to respect and think about. And by trading out, we've traded out bull centaur for bull centaur. I get my stunned player back. Suddenly, that extra player that he's got over here is pointless, which is what I said 2 turns ago about having Chorf blockers running around the side. It's not having the big picture. So it's an interesting replay. There's a whole lot of mistakes on both sides. If you too would like to play at a sort of sub-adequate level, let me know on Discord, and I can coach you to be this bad. Holy cow. Yeah, that was not a good move. Like, what are you going to gain from that? You roll a POW, you break armor, great, but that's like a really low odds play. Stand that guy up. Yeah, block here, blitz there. Now we get a blitz action move, and if we get a POW, or even if we don't get a POW, we can go and mark out that chalk blocker. So you're pinned. You can run away. And it's just a case. So in a mirror match, I guess that the what do we want to learn from this half? For me, I think going in with the concept of trying to pin things and trade players out in certain places, so that you're giving yourself a player advantage on the right places in the pitch, I think is important. Let's not make that 3+ dodge. Let's make you have to make 4+, 2+, 2+ for 1D. Yeah, 4+, 2+, 2+, 4+. Seems like a great idea for me when you've got no rerolls. And even if you hit it, you've got no recovery afterwards. So you've seen the blitz here. And I guess this is also demonstrating the 2 reroll build for chalks and why it's a bit of a problem sometimes. If you use the bull centaurs to do anything until they've got block, it's just an accident waiting to happen. So, whoa. Now, this was a mistake. I remember this at the time and thought, this is fine if we roll the POW. But look what's happened. We pushed this. He was pinned. 5+, 4+, going nowhere. Everything was bad. I'm just going to wind that back, actually, because I think it's important to just look at this again. And I know what I was going to try and do, and I should have talked about it before I let it through, but let's just look at this turn again. So what's my opening move? Opening move is to move that guy away. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. This turn did not get optimized correctly at all. The correct action here is to blitz there. And I know that sucked because you'd rather come in from this angle, but you can't. You just can't. You need to blitz there because you're trying to. I think in turn 7 and turn 8 especially, and this happens a lot at tabletop. You see it a lot in your league games. If you fail now, you're screwed. So if you roll a 1 in 81 now, you're like, oh, I can't believe it. Didn't score because blah, 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 right? So unlucky. No, you made the wrong play. Yes, you were unlucky, but you made the wrong play. I should be making, only doing blocks. Like, you need to tighten your play up on turns 6, 7, and 8. 7 and 8 especially. 8, absolutely. You need to do nothing that can allow the dice to screw you over. And, yeah, I can go and tag this goblin out. I've got something here, look. That can just go over there. That's fine. That can go over there. It can also go and stand around here. We can block there. We can get a push. We can be sad about it. And at that point, actually, neither of those squares are great for the goblin. Why don't we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and be in that square there? Because then we can block sideways here. And then if we really, really want to, we've got that 2 dice. I mean, I don't think we want to, but at least it was available. Because the pushing it out was bad. But for me, the opening blitz is here. And then we can roll this forward a little bit. That's fine. And then what we need to do is work out how we're going to pin this goblin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That works for me. And I think that's a much stronger play. It allows you to not be ruined and screwed over by the dice. Something that I've been trying to work on a lot. How do you not get screwed over by the dice? And I took that away from when I lost in the invite-only Nations League. recently because was going to win the game, absolutely going to win the game, and I had a choice, a straight choice between throwing a 2 dice block with block or throwing a 1 in 81 2 dice block without block. 2 dice block without block, much better position, but actually it was a terrible idea, and it cost me the score, cost me the game. Don't do it. So I've gone and scored here because I don't think there was a better way of protecting what I'd done. I think there was in retrospect, but here he's not going to score a 2-turn. He's also down 2 goblins. It's fine. We should be able to defend a 2-turn short score, right? They're not famous. No one ever makes a big thing about 2-turning short scores on stream or anything. It's definitely fine. Which is a great segue into, if you want to watch the channel, please come and say hello to us on Twitch every Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday evening. Wednesday and Thursdays it's about 7 PM UK time. Saturday, Sunday is about 4 PM UK time. There is a link to the Discord in the description below, and that has a go live notification channel, and it also has a stream schedule channel, so I try and keep that relatively up to date. Now, looking at this, we know that he's got a sure hands bull centaur. So a shallow kick is a bit of a problem. As is a 3-turn short score with a bull centaur. And he's got no rerolls. So from a turn optimization point of view, while this is wonderful, it is wonderful throwing 2 dice blocks. Who doesn't like 2 dice blocking? You roll a double skulls now, you're back to your 2-turn, and if you were on a 2-turn and you throw double skulls now, that would be a really, really bad thing to do. So, correct turn optimization, for me, is open with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, you don't want to go stand there. You actually want to go and stand about here. So really, that means that correct turn optimization is that Chorf block. You just need to run forward. Just leg him forward. So you can stand the ball in here, and you've now collected the ball and move forward. If you don't collect the ball, then at least it's bobbled from here. Yes, you might sacrifice 3 line of scrimmage hits, but if you're trying to win the game, the line of scrimmage hits are not going to win you the game. The picking the ball up and being able to score here wins you the game. Boochaka is injured. That'll be a power up into a dead Chorf later in the game, I'm sure of it. That's what happened in game 2, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He should be down here somewhere. I think the blitz target should have been this guy because it opens up the centre of the field. By blitzing down the side of the field, you've already told me that you're planning on attacking my right flank. That's no good. You need to be attacking the centre, and then I don't know where you're going. And the more you run down that side, you can imagine it as a sort of. Let's pause it and let's look. Right. If this bull centaur can movement 9, we can math that. Yeah, we plot that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it can get anywhere along this line here. It can also move 9 squares diagonally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That means this bull centaur has a threat on the field of about that. Imagine we then take that box and we pick it up and we move it to the right. So I've only got to defend everything inside that blue box. If you, of course, you pick that whole box up and suddenly the bull centaur was stood in that square there, now that box covers the entire field, which means that I've got to cover the whole field. So running into a sideline is terrible. Don't do that. You're much better off running to the middle and then threatening both flanks. A threat cone is something I've called it before. So the Chorf blockers, I don't like standing up because I'm going to give away 3 hits and we're now apothecaryless. But at the same time, we don't want to be giving away oodles and oodles of space, and I don't want him handing off to a bull centaur and trotting it in. So we're going to bring people across, and then we're going to just stop him scoring. Chevroning and defending is probably going to be fine, and I do want something that can respond to whatever he chooses to do. So I'm taking out the centre. Those two chevrons of pairs of 2. This is like an elf screen, but with not elves. And where does he need to be stood? He needs to be stood 9 squares forwards. We know the pitch is 13 long, so that's 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. He needs to be stood somewhere on here. So he needs to be past all of this. You can already see he's not going to do it. And he's not going to do it because of the choices he made the last turn. Now we've only got one scoring threat to deal with, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We now know that if this bull centaur was pushed back 1 square, even just 1 square, it can't possibly score. If you're watching on at home, can you find a way of pushing this guy into that square there? Yeah, fill in that square. Got yourself a T-shape. Blitz there. Brilliant. Well done. Yeah, not too particularly taxing, and also very easy to sort of stop a score. And if it all went completely wrong, we could either re-roll it, or we can just punch over and over again with bull centaur into bull centaur. So, right, we're not going to watch their turn 8, and his turn 8 hasn't really done anything. We'll skip into the second half. Does it cause a damage? No, but he does kill. So in reply, he does kill a goblin, and now we're defending with a 2-player advantage. For me, I've offset the line of scrimmage, which I think on probably both sets of rules here, which is 2016, and if you're playing on Blood Bowl 2020 or Blood Bowl 3, an offset line of scrimmage is quite helpful, because while in Blood Bowl 3, Blood Bowl 2020, you can't move those players, look what it's done. It's pulled him to one side, which means that we've now created a bit more space. If we get shallow kicks and we get a blitz, we possibly can think about attacking. So we're now on 4 rerolls. He's also only got 1 player that can handle the ball, and it doesn't have break tackle. So I'm thinking now, either watching this and probably in real time, the best thing we can possibly do here is play solidly in the centre, keep 1 or both bull centaurs back for sweeping, and if we can, then we can just go and tag at the right time. We have got a player advantage, so it should be fine. These chorfs are made of adamantium, they definitely don't die. It'll be fine. You imagine the 4+ fail. This is a Khemri pickup against the edge of the pitch. It's fine. Probably the best thing to do is blitz here. Keep these chorf blockers on the floor so you don't give away hits, because there's no reason to give away the hits. You just need to take the centre. And what I'm trying to do now is hold this side, and if I'd have got the POW, work way round to create an L shape to try and start denying space. So we failed the dodge. It's kind of worth getting away. Probably should have put this bull centaur in here to both help defend this guy and just sort of shore things up a little bit. Opponent definitely wants to push down the side again. Not sure about that. Look out, uniform. We have a punch from behind. opponent is now really shoving this sideline. So again, the best thing I think you can do here is we're going to look at this with a graphic. Is again the threat from the bull centaur holding the ball. 9 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These can be threatening to somewhere over here. So yeah, I don't quite count if it's sort of this area, but broadly he's threatening into there. So if we now use a red graphic for our players, if I can shut down this guy, I can start creating my side wall here of players, and then I've already owned this area, so there's no point giving it away again. And if we can create something like that with an extra player at the bottom here, where's he going to go and how's he going to get past me? He's going to just get into trouble. So I think that's probably where we want to be with respect to defending. And now I know that, it's just a simple case of optimizing the turnout. For me, I think the blitz is here. So we've got 2 chalk blockers. Great, let's use one of those. Possibly use the bull centaur as the assist. Let's not try and get extra value here. So I think that guy needs to go in here. We can then walk this guy through those squares and go and stand here. We could stick a bull centaur on the end. Now we've got our line of players here. If we've taken one out of here, then we need to replace it with something. So that can go in there. The bull centaur can go in here. We can blitz. And then we've now suddenly basically created our line just by daisy chaining things along. And I think that's probably the best play. You could argue, I don't think it's a poor argument, but I think you could argue to blitz this guy. It doesn't really achieve very much. It doesn't help you sustain, solidify anything. It doesn't even let you get this guy off the floor. I don't like it. And I think you could try and argue to try and blitz this guy, because you could push it into there and have some extra hits. But, you know, what do you think he's going to do? That into something like that? I don't want to see that happen. So I'm not a fan of taking the extra hits here. I think the pitch position, as it covered in turn 3, pitch position is now much more powerful, or is a more a requirement. It doesn't look like I'm going to play that way, but I think that was the correct line of play. We've gone for the greedy AF route. Because now I can't defend this area easily. It's gonna have to be a goblin and a bull centaur. Because if I leave him on his own, he's gonna swing at him. So the goblin's got to go there. Don't like that. Unless I put the other bull centaur next to it. No, I don't like that. Ooh, good piece of play from our opponent, bringing into the middle, now threatening on both flanks. And we have got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 plays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're a +3. At this point, I think a defensive touchdown, if we can continue to maintain a +3 player advantage, is possible. But at the same time, I would now really tighten up the play and make sure you just don't give away anything. So you can now go out there, and if you defend these squares here, that bull centaur's got to run around on its own. So just defend this square here, probably with a bull centaur. Oh no, that should be over here, because he absolutely could go and sideline me here. I wonder if that was out of time. Oh god. Oh no, another dead chalk. Okay, so that was another one. For those of you who've been watching all series, can you guys please keep a track of how many chalks die in this run? Because it's not 1 or 2. Right, turn 12. Let's see what you need to do here. So we're now only +2, which is okay. It's still fine. We don't need to do anything crazy. I do think we probably want to go back to now punching this guy into here to take the extra hit, so the assist is probably valid to go in that square there. But you do not want to give this Bull Centaur any way through, like break tackling or otherwise. So positioning needs to be on point. So we got 2 dice block there. Great. Let's not move anything else. I think it's a goblin into there. I don't want it to be the leader, so I think you put this goblin in here and bring this guy over here. And then we can throw the blitz, throw the block, and see what happens. I don't think this is a particularly spectacular turn. There's no reason to put lots and lots of pressure on our opponent. That works. Okay, so it's the same idea, just in a different order. It's a shame. If I don't shut this down, that's the blitz. Block and follow. And he's running out of options. He's running out of things he can do. So he's brought the ball sideways. The problem is the screen, you just can't screen with it. The only way you screen with it now is you take the Bull Centaur and you make a break. And I think this is where he gets himself into hot water. Because the Bull Centaur was moved first, and then the pieces were then tried to be placed around that. And he's had to cover this side because he's worried about Bull Centaurs, when he should be worried about Chorf blockers. Poor Test Monkey. He's fine. So we've got this guy here for free, right? He can swing in, and if I can get this Bull Centaur around the top, we can then get 2 dice on the board. So what I'm trying to do straight out of the gate is free this Bull Centaur up. We know the player's going to be over here, so don't cancel the assist this side. Add an extra one on here. And then you roll the power, which is quite nice. And then you can follow up. And then we also know that the Bull Centaur's going to get shoved into that square there. So why not take your Chorf blocker? I think there or there we're fine. But that top square gives you better chance for when the ball scatters. Providing you can knock it over. You're now covering more squares than you would have been if you were just back here. Again, follow, additional pressure. See how the square that we selected is now paid a bit more dividend. One point of order here, and he has moved some players, so apologies for the jumping around. Is that guy possibly could have been top, because he's had to bring this guy up. I think this guy should have been one further up. But never mind. Yeah, we can. I can now see that looking at this, it's his 14. If he can't get the ball off the floor and into his own hands again, how on earth are you going to fix this? So he's not. He's just not going to fix this. Oh. Okay, suddenly with a double Centaur stun, things have got spicy again. Because if we just do a little bit of counting, he's got 15. So 1, 2 to get back to the Centaur, square the Centaur's in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he can get the Bull Centaur with short hands to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's 1 short. So the Bull Centaur short hands is going to have to be handed off to by the other one. He's going to have to do a Centaur relay. Or just pin the double Centaur twice. Standing there, which is, I think, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And now the ball carrier is pinned. He's not scoring. So we know we've now got a result out of this one. But it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to work out how to get anything more than a result out of this in terms of, I think this is just 1-0. If I'm him, you know that you need to get this Bull Centaur in scoring range. So I would have been blitzing here and running this Centaur off into scoring range, because I as the red Chaos Dwarves haven't got an awful lot of ways to deal with it. But by standing put there, you've conceded on turn 15. something that you'll find even pro players do, is just not capture the refinery. Sorry, is just not to push forward and keep scoring threats in. I'm sure absolutely no one will have understood that reference. Now, I think looking at this right now, that's the blitz and go and stand in scoring range and just be available. Because I can see what I'm actually going to do is blitz here, which gives me 0 value on the ball. And I don't like having to clear this bull centaur off in a turn or two's time. Well, next turn. I don't think that's a good idea. Tag this out and make it nil. Unlike in Blood Bowl 3, you can only use 1 reroll at this point, so may as well use the reroll there. And I think you block here. But this is going to play out now. I don't think we're going to see an awful lot. So, what have I found in this game? A fair few positional errors, I think. I think it's reaffirmed my belief that you must keep players in the right, consider where's going to be happening in the next couple of turns and keep putting players into the right squares, because when we did do that, we were quite strong with the bull centaurs, and when we didn't do that, and when we saw our opponent not do that, certainly the first half down here, that caused a big problem. The other thing I think is making sure that you've got players in scoring range. Sorry, you've got your player who's going to be scoring. Try and keep them central. Try and threaten both flanks as well as the centre. But overall, I think I need to just look at my positioning a little bit in the first half, and it would be nice to not have dead dwarves again. They're all dead again. That block needed to be a POW, and then this one needs to be a POW and a pickup. So we're on to a 4+ pickup. 4+ pickup, easy peasy, 4+ pickup, easy peasy giraffe, come on, 4+ pickup, 2 reroll 1. Never mind. And that would have leveled giraffe there. But, oh well. Now, if you're enjoying this style of replay analysis, please give it a thumbs up and a like. The YouTube algorithm really doesn't prefer this style of stuff because it's shorter than regular videos. So I need extra comments and likes and comments on other people's comments and likes on there and all that sort of fun stuff. If I want to keep doing this and promoting it out to other bits of YouTube. Overall, we did alright. How did we do block-wise? It was about 50-50. So, probably need to focus on not giving away as many hits. And I thought it was an interesting game to watch back. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. See you soon. Bye.